I'm not going to go into this fight and back off.
Do you believe you knock out Fabio Wardley?
I can. I have the power to do so.
I doubt through the 12 rounds there's going to be a moment where he doesn't get clipped by me and doesn't hit the floor.
Tony Bellew has sparked new debate across the boxing world by backing Joseph Parker to come out on top in his much anticipated heavyweight clash with Fabio Wardley. Joseph Parker heads into this showdown riding one of the best runs of form in his career. The 33-year-old has been a constant presence in the upper tier of the heavyweight division for over a decade. He once held the WBO world title and was the first man to take Anthony Joshua the full 12 rounds when he lost that belt back in 2018. Since then, Parker has been through ups and downs, suffering defeats to Dillian Whyte and Joe Joyce. But he's also collected impressive wins over notable names like Derek Chisora twice, Zhilei Zhang, and the hard-hitting Deontay Wilder. Most recently, he stopped Martin Bakole in just 2 rounds earlier this year after Daniel Dubois pulled out of their scheduled bout at the last minute. That result only strengthened Parker's claim as one of the most dangerous and well-rounded heavyweights on the planet today.
What do we think of Parker versus Wardley?
Excellent fight in terms of Wardley. Now Wardley got out of jail in his last one.
Well,
He
that's
was
what I was going to say.
systematically
Is it a good fight?
beaten.
Is it the right fight for Fabio?
I think Joe Parker wins it. I think
Does that make it the right fight for Fabio?
the guy that he
Well,
just
it's
fought
the
was
right
Justin
opportunity.
Shooty,
It's all
wasn't it?
about
Justin
opportunity.
Shooty,
And you
yeah.
have, so it is the right fight, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think
For Fabio?
so. Absolutely. Look, they're both at the top of the tree.
Now, Parker's focus is fixed on Wardley, a fighter still climbing toward world-level recognition, but who has earned respect for his determination, grit, and knockout power. Bellew, speaking on the Frog on Fighting Show, made it clear that Wardley is a serious threat who can't be underestimated, yet he still believes Parker's experience will carry him through. The Kiwi's consistency, skill set, and current momentum have him in prime position to move one step closer to Alexander Usyk and another shot at heavyweight gold.
That's not a gimme, mate. Fabio Wardley's highly dangerous. It's one to watch.
Good fight, isn't it?
It is a good fight.
Parker
Fabio
Wardley,
Wardley's
I'm actually looking forward to that. I think Parker does it with the experience and the skills and that. And
I think he overcomes, but I think it's too big of a
Wardley
leap.
punches hard. Wardley punches hard enough to make it a fight, and then drag him into something and make it like so interesting.
Fabio's always in the fight, Carl. He has
When
his
is that
shown
fight,
against
Danny?
Justice Hooney. It's next month, isn't it? It's on.
It is next month, yeah. Don't know the
Is
exact
it?
date. We'll give that a little shout out, but never
Yeah,
mind.
is it November
But that's a
15th?
good fight.
something
Fabio
like
Wardley,
that?
Joseph Parker. Look out for that one.
It's a cracking fight, mate. It's a brilliant fight and an amazing venue, the O2. You know, one of my favourite indoor arenas in the world. It's a fantastic venue.
While Bellew's pick has created buzz, promoter Eddie Hearn has offered him his own take, one that paints a slightly different picture. Having worked with both men, Hearn acknowledged how big this challenge is for Wardley, describing it as a huge leap forward in his career. Wardley's story has been remarkable so far, from starting in white-collar boxing with no amateur background to becoming a British and Commonwealth champion. His journey alone makes this matchup an inspiring one. He said, "Yeah, I think it's a huge jump up for Wardley, who by the way deserves a massive amount of credit. He carries great power. He knocked out Fraser Clark in a round. This is a different kind of step up against a guy with massive experience and massive form. I do think, and I like Fabio a lot, but I always try to be honest in a lot of these analyses. I think it's a step too far for him in the form that Joseph's in, but he's definitely live in the fight." Adding to the discussion, Fraser Clark, who knows Wardley better than most, believes the fight will deliver fireworks. Clark and Wardley share 2 memorable encounters, the first ending in a draw and the second seeing Wardley score a stunning first-round knockout. Having been in the ring with him twice, Clark knows Wardley's mindset and punching power inside out. He acknowledged that while Parker is the more seasoned fighter, Wardley has the right kind of grit and explosiveness that can turn a fight upside down in a heartbeat.
You know, going into this fight, in terms of form, they're both in really good form. But you got to say on performances, Joseph Parker's pulled out some great performances against, you know, your likes of Zhang, Deontay Wilder, Martin Bakole. He's in red hot form. But then again, you know, you've got Fabio Wardley, who you just can't deny, you can't write him off, because at any time he's dangerous.
While some expect Parker's technical ability and experience to shine through, not everyone is convinced. Derek Chisora, who has faced Parker twice himself, has boldly predicted a knockout win for Wardley. The veteran heavyweight insisted that Wardley's confidence and momentum could carry him to a shocking victory, urging fans not to underestimate his raw power. Chisora described Wardley as a little beast who's riding high after his comeback win against Hooney and believes he'll find a way to stop Parker on fight night. Coming from a man who knows firsthand how tough Parker is, that's a statement that's caught attention across the boxing community.
My prediction for the Joseph Parker and Fabio Wardley. I feel like Wardley wins this fight with a knockout. I don't know why I'm thinking of it, but it's just, when it's like that. It's like when you play the lottery and then you just get your numbers right. And I believe Fabio has got his numbers right now because after his last performance, he's got something to prove. I've known Fabio for a while, Fabio's a little beast. And Joseph is a beast as well, but I believe that Fabio Wardley wins this fight with a knockout. It will stop Joseph Parker. Trust me on this. Put your house on this deal, I'm telling you. It's going to be electric. The boy from London, Norwich, is going to do it. Is he from Norwich?
Lawrence Okolie, another British fighter who's recently made the move up to heavyweight, also leaned toward Wardley. He suggested that Parker's recent fights, many of which have been short, might have left him without the kind of long, grinding rounds needed to stay sharp against a younger, hungrier opponent. Okolie believes Wardley's faster pace and willingness to take risks could make the difference early in the fight. However, he also pointed out that if the fight goes deep into the later rounds, Parker's experience and composure could take over.
I believe Wardley's going to win. I believe Wardley is going to be a bit sharper, especially in the early rounds. And if he can clip, I know Parker's an ex-world champion and he's been in there with some of the best fighters, but I think he's not had a lot of rounds lately. He had 2 rounds against Bacoli, and before that I think his last fight was maybe Wilder. So he's, in the last 2 or 3 years, he's only had maybe I don't know how many rounds. So I think that with Wardley, he's been on a good run. I think his sharpness will be able to get to Parker, and I think he'll hurt him in the middle rounds and end by stoppage. But if he doesn't, and the fight goes on later, I think Parker's experience is going to really show.
Despite the attention surrounding Wardley's power, the Ipswich man himself insists that he's not just one-trick pony. His knockout ratio, an astonishing 94.74%, is unmatched by any undefeated male fighter in boxing today, but he knows power alone won't beat someone like Parker. In his own words, the Hooney fight was proof that he can't rely on finding a late miracle punch every time. He has been working on showing new dimensions to his game, knowing full well that Parker has faced some of the sport's biggest hitters and lived to tell the tale.
Is that front row of like Frank and George and Lee Eaton's flying around?
Lee Eaton and Moses are the two.
Yeah, literally. Like, I don't think I've seen that much emotion from Moses even when he wins his own fight. You just see everyone leave their seats. You see Eddie still saying it, so he doesn't get up. He sits there like.
Wardley's approach for this fight has been all about balance, respecting Parker's experience but not being intimidated by it. He understands that the New Zealander has been in with punchers like Wilder, Joyce, and Chisora, all of whom failed to finish him. That means Wardley will need more than brute strength. He'll need patience, strategy, and the composure to capitalize when opportunities arise, but still, he hasn't lost faith in his natural instincts as a finisher. If the moment presents itself, he plans to take it, just like he did against Hooney.
Joseph Parker will fight Fabio Wardley. I think the date is October 25th, O2 Arena. Massive fight for Fabio Wardley. Fighting a guy that I consider a top 3 heavyweight. So and look, it could be the number 2. He could be the number 2. Number 1's Usyk. There's this debate between Caballero and Parker. It could be Joseph Parker in what will be a sold-out O2 Arena. It might be for a vacant title. I think we're still trying to find out what Usyk does, so it could be for a world title. This is enormous, especially considering the life and death Fabio just had against Justice Hooney, where he just landed that one quitter hitter in the last, what was it, the last round of that fight? So to go from there, like, the East trajectory is incredible. To go from there, Portman Road, sold out, to fighting potentially for a world title against, again, a really good, massive name in Joseph Parker. is just, I mean, your team have done you well.
For his part, Parker remains calm and confident. He has been through the fire before and knows exactly what's at stake. Since his loss to Joyce, he's rebuilt himself carefully, taking on dangerous fights when he could have played it safe. His wins over Zhang, Wilder, and Piccoli have restored his status as one of the division's most complete fighters. Those victories weren't just about power, they showed his ring intelligence, adaptability, and endurance. Parker believes that those qualities will once again be the difference when he faces Wardley.
I'm a big Joseph Parker fan of you as a boxer, you as a person, your rise, the way that you've come through the ranks. And I have to say, I feel, and this is what's so lovable about you, is that you've come through with no bitterness, no animosity. You're just happy you have a fight. But I think as a fight fan, as a Joseph Parker fan, and through the lands of TikTok and Instagram things, people are sad for you that you. I feel like this fight is good. I'm glad you got a fight, but I feel disappointed that you haven't been able. I feel frustrated. I'm like, why do you have to fight Wardley? Why do you have to fight Wardley?
You know, as a fighter,
which is no disrespect to Wardley.
It's no disrespect, but Wardley is the mandatory for the WBA, and I don't think it's a good thing to be waiting around for Usyk for when he's ready.
I agree.
Or when he comes back, or when he's not injured. So the more you can fight, and the more you can progress in your boxing career and keep fighting whoever they put in front of you, obviously the closer you get to fighting for a world title.
Yeah.
Wardley is a good challenge.
Yes.
You know, with his last fight, or all the fights that he's had, which I've seen, he's always stepped it up, and he's always, you know, it hasn't gone his way most of the fight, but then in the last one showed that saying that one punch can change everything in the heavyweight division, or any division, but heavyweight division, he showed that it was a perfect example. So even though I don't have this Usyk fight that everyone wanted me to get, and I wanted to get myself, but now the Usyk fight's the Wardley fight. So I have to go into this fight and look good and do my job, and then I can move on to the next.
Yeah.
But if I can't, then there's no point talking about Usyk, there's no point talking about all these other big fights if I don't get this one right.
Throughout his preparation, Parker has emphasized that he thrives in challenges. He's not one to sit on the sidelines and wait for title shots. He wants to stay active and test himself against the best. That mindset has brought him to this moment, and he's embracing the danger Wardley brings. He respects his opponent's story, from his white-collar beginnings to the top of the British boxing scene, but he's made it clear that such fairy tales often come to an end when they reach world level. Behind the scenes, his camp in New Zealand is focused on refining his conditioning and maintaining sharpness. Working closely with his nutritionist George Lockhart, Parker feels in the best shape of his recent career and believes he's peaking at the right time. He views this fight as not just a stepping stone, but as a statement. Beating Wardley convincingly, especially after such a strong run of wins, would make it impossible for the heavyweight champions to overlook him any longer.
Joseph Parker says he'll come in lighter for Fabio Wardley, but is that a smart move?
The last fight was 121.
Yeah.
This fight will probably be 116.
Yeah? You look like a fucking jack, man.
But lighter now.
Yeah.
Whatever he says.
Magic.
Yeah.
Magic, man.
Look bigger, but lighter.
In his last fight, Parker weighed a career high 267 pounds against Martin Piccoli, and he still scored a brutal knockout in the second round. Now he plans to come in closer to 255 pounds, trading some size for speed and movement. But remember, the last time Parker fought at 255, he was stopped by Joe Joyce. He later admitted he'd been sick, but the defeat still hangs over him.
What was the physical challenge prevented you from being your best on the night? Sick. What was the illness that he was? Chest infection.
So will Parker's lighter weight make him sharper against Wardley, or will it cost him his power? Who you got?
As fight night draws near, there is an undeniable sense that something special is brewing. Parker's calm confidence meets Wardley's fearless hunger, and both men know what a win could mean for their futures. For Parker, it's about proving there are levels to the game, that experience, skill, and composure still matter in an era of knockout artists. For Wardley, it's about defying expectations once again and showing that his story is far from over. One thing everyone agrees on is that fans can expect drama. Whether it's Wardley's power breaking through or Parker's ringcraft guiding him to victory, this fight promises an edge-of-your-seat spectacle. Every punch, every round will tell a part of the story that could reshape the heavyweight landscape. Parker has vowed that Wardley's new chapter ends on October 25th, but if Wardley has his way, that night might just mark the beginning of his own legend.